Hello and welcome to the summer learning project for geography, where we're going to look at COVID-19 and how it's had an impact on the global environment. So the question for the Year 7 summer learning project is, what has been the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the global environment? So that's the natural environment. So what you need to do here is go away and research, find out how the environment has been affected. Now that's going to fit into two categories. You're going to have the benefits to the environment, but you're also going to have the negative sides. So if you look at the pictures here on the left hand side, you've got a picture of a city in Spain where it shows what it was like before the pandemic hit, and then after, where the skies are a lot clearer because there's a lot less cars on the road and less pollution in the atmosphere. So that's a positive. However, on the right hand side there are some negatives, and in this case it was increased medical waste, litter found on the beach due to the increased amount that's being used during this pandemic. So you'll have your own opinions, but as geographers it's our job to go away and make sure we come up with a balance, make sure we look at both sides, and then we can form our own opinion from that. But we have to back up what we're saying with evidence. So the best way to go about this project is the following. Go away and research. Find out as much as you can about how the environment's been affected. Make sure it is balanced. Look at a couple of good things that have happened and a couple of bad things that have happened. Really push yourself and perhaps have a look at what will these long-term effects be, as well as what's going on at the moment. That'd be fantastic. So once you've done your research, make sure you understand it. Make sure you've really got an idea of what's going on and that you are able to talk about it or present it knowing it almost inside out. Once you've understood what you're going to talk about, you need to decide how you present it, and that's up to you, whatever way you feel best. And in your presentation, always look back at this question. Are you talking about how the impact has been on the global environment, the natural environment? Have you looked at both sides of the argument? A couple of advantages and a couple of disadvantages, and you can bring your own opinion into it if you wish as well. What do you think? Do you think this is going to carry on, the environment improving or getting worse? It's your decision. We just want to see how you present it and how well you understand how COVID-19 is affecting the global environment. So nobody knows the true impact of the coronavirus on the environment. It could be the start of a big change. It could be that people realize we can reduce emissions. We've seen that. It could be that people have realized actually we can work from home, and that's going to reduce traffic on the roads. There's been talk about less office blocks now being built in the future because there's less need for it, because people realize that due to technology, due to upcoming 5G and so on, people can work at home as well as they could working in an office. We may see negative sides of things. We may see more litter being made as people are having more things at home delivered, more packaging is needed, and so on. So this project is all about going out and finding out what we know so far about the impacts of COVID-19 and try to sort of think forward about what the future may hold. So it is important that you look at both the positive and the negative impacts. Try to remove your own opinion to a certain extent and look at both sides fairly. Now, how you produce this project and this investigation is totally up to you. You'll see some suggestions later on. So remember, when we talk about the environment, we mean the natural world around us. So try to focus in this respect on the natural environmental impacts. Okay, so as we said before, there were some positive impacts. Just got a few here. There are plenty more that you'll need to go out and have a look for. But some that we came up with are clearing smog, clearing air, as we talked about. In Venice, it was quite famous that you saw the waters clear for the first time, because normally you have the boats going up and down, and they dig up the silt and the mud, and it makes it all mucky. But because nothing was going up and down the canals, everything was cleared. Now, if you do see pictures of dolphins swimming through the canals in Venice, they're fake news, that is. Okay, bottom right is all about the growth of green industries, especially in the UK. It could well be that a lot of investment in the future is going to go in green technology, solar production, wind turbine production. It could again be a sort of a springboard to this green revolution that's been spoke about. The bottom left, we realised that people were encouraged not to travel on public transport. There's been an increased demand for cycle lanes, and more temporary and in the future permanent cycle lanes have been planned so that people can get around the cities more effectively by bike. Now, could this be the time that in city centres that very few cars end up using it and people choose other forms of transport. And at the bottom, some sort of evidence. It's always good if you can back up your research with evidence. And this shows last year's air pollution in Italy compared to this year's in the middle of the pandemic, and you can clearly see there's a lot less air pollution this year than there was last year. So those are some positive impacts. But as we said before, we need to balance our views in geography. So with that being said, we need to also look at the negative impacts. And remember, we're looking long term, not just during the lockdown, not just straight afterwards, but in the future. So around the world, there's been a massive increase in medical waste being produced, which you'd expect. Now, are all countries going to deposit this and get rid of it, or in a safe way? Something perhaps to research. Could there be an increase in air pollution after travel restrictions are relaxed, as everybody starts to fly again? Could there be a big boom? Or could this be the time then perhaps we have realised that we don't need to fly as much? On the top right, increased litter after lockdown. There's been a few instances, not many, but a few instances, such as in Bournemouth, where a lot of litter has been left behind. Is this just a one-off, or could it be that it's going to be an increase in the future? There's also the problem of a lot of bins were blocked off because there was no one to empty them. So you got rubbish during lockdown because of that. And finally, it could be because there's increased home deliveries. Now, is that going to be negative for the environment? Does that mean more pollution because there's more vans and things on the road? Could it be that there's more packaging? Sometimes you order something online, it has lots of packaging to keep it safe, whereas you wouldn't have that if you perhaps went to a shop. So those sorts of things you can look at. Remember to look at it on a global scale, not just in the UK, but across the world as well. So a few links here as well to help you look at the impact. So will COVID-19 have a lasting impact on the environment? There's a few videos there, as we said before, lots of links, lots of ideas to get you started. Try to perhaps use these, get some ideas, and take your research further yourself. Find out some things that perhaps we didn't know before. Now you've got your idea of what you're going to do. It's up to you how you present your work. Now, lots of ideas. There's a few here that I've got, but if you've come up with something else that you think would be a good way of presenting it, that would be great. So you could do a PowerPoint presentation, you could do it in a project book, perhaps you might do an art or DT, a painting or drawing to symbolize it. You might want to create a model, maybe write it in essay form if that's your style, poster. You could do a video presentation. A timeline of how things might happen in the future or have happened environmentally due to the COVID-19 outbreak, maybe a mood board. You might want to do it as a news report, someone to film you, and you do it as if you're reporting on the environmental impact in the news, maybe a drama piece or an animation, if that's your sort of style. However you present your work is up to you.
We have got some incredibly exciting summer homework projects planned for you guys. So there are 2 projects available for each year group, one under the heading of STEM and the other a year of seismic change. It's really important that you answer one question from each of these projects. When you go onto our website and have a look at some of these questions, you will find they are incredibly interesting and provide you with an opportunity to research and create some fantastic project ideas. You will be wondering how your projects will be marked. So in September, form tutors will mark each project based on the following criteria: effort, content and creativity. They will award a grade 1 to 4 in each category, with 1 being outstanding. Just want to give you a few top tips on how you can achieve an outstanding grading in each of these. It's really important that as part of your research that you do for each of these projects, that you show that you have gone above and beyond. Present your work in a creative and unique way to catch the attention of your audience, and think about the content that you include within each project. It's really important that the content that you include answers the question that has been set to you. For every grade 1 you achieve, your name will be entered into a prize draw. There's a separate prize draw for each category: effort, content and creativity. And if you get a grade 1 in all 3, you will have the chance to enter a 4th prize draw. So to the best bit then, how will you be rewarded? So for completing each project, you will receive 25 credits from your form tutor. So 25 credits for the STEM project and 25 credits for completing a year of seismic change project. So in total, by completing these 2 projects, you will be eligible for 50 credits come September. That is equivalent to a bronze certificate. In addition to the 50 credits, there's a fantastic opportunity here for you to win an Apple iPad. Now, there are 4 prize draws available to you depending on the grading you secure on effort, content and creativity. If your form tutor awards you with a grade 1 for any of the 3 categories, your name will be entered into the prize draw for these. Additionally, if you achieve a grade 1 in effort, content and creativity, all 3 criteria, your name will be entered into a 4th prize draw as well, increasing your chances of winning an iPad. Both projects will be marked separately, therefore there is an opportunity here for your name to be entered 8 different times. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact your academy by the info@ email address. We are incredibly excited about these projects and cannot wait to see the work that you produce. And most importantly, we can't wait to welcome you back in September.